Hi yogis, my name is Amy and I'm thankful that you joined me for flow today. So we're going to be flowing with a very relaxing class today, very much geared towards, as you can see where it's nighttime and I'm in for my evening practice tonight. So we're going to be relaxing and stretching and releasing tension. We'll be using a bolster. So as always, if you don't have a bolster available, you can use some couch cushions or pillows. And we'll also be using a block or two, just kind of depending on your own preference for some longer holds. So we'll do a combo of some gentle hatha poses, some yin longer holds, and some restorative. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and set ourselves up to start our practice. So we'll just take the tips of our thumbs and index fingers together for Chin Mudra and leave those on our knees, palms facing up. And we can close our eyes here and just start to slow down our breath, breathing in and exhaling completely. And as we do this, our spine is nice and tall, inhaling fully and exhaling slowly. And as our spine is nice and tall, our shoulders are released back and down. And our head is right off of the spine with the chin just gently tucked. And we continue to breathe here. And it's a great time right at the beginning here as everything's slowing down. We're slowing down our breath, getting ready to relax and stretch out our bodies. It's a great time to set an internal intention for where your focus will be during your practice, or what you want to infuse into your practice, whether it's calm, peace, mindfulness, tuning into the body, whatever is your goal for your practice. You can just hold that thought as you breathe. And we'll go ahead and release the mudra slowly and blink our eyes gently open. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and come into Dandasana, which I will stay facing you for this. So we'll take our feet out in front of us. I always like to pull the fleshy part of the seat back so I get my sit bones nice and set up. So we're just going to start with flexing the feet and pointing them, flexing and pointing. And I tend to rest my hands on my thighs here, but you can also have your hands down. We're aiming for a nice long spine as we do this. And we keep breathing the whole way through it. We'll rotate our ankles in one direction and switch directions. Terrific. And we'll go ahead and relax those legs now a little bit and bring our hands out in front of us at about shoulder height. So we'll go ahead and flex our palms and point our fingers down, flexing and pointing. Inhaling and exhaling as we go. And final, pointing down, bringing our hands back to neutral. We'll make little fists and we'll rotate our wrists in and out in one direction. And then we'll switch the direction. Beautiful. And we'll release those down. We'll come into a gentle twist to each side, so lifting the arms up on the inhale and twisting to one side on the exhale, just lifting as we go through that. Nice long spine, inhaling up and exhaling to twist. Very gentle. Just getting the spine ready, inhaling and exhaling. And inhaling, and last one, exhaling. Inhaling one last time. And we'll go ahead and take those arms down. Beautiful. So coming back into Sukhasana, easy pose. Just quickly we'll take some neck exercises. So just looking to the right or any direction, one direction, and then to the other direction. Continuing with your own breath, shifting from one side to the other, slowly and gently. Next time that you find yourself at the center, we'll go ahead and start dropping the chin to the chest, keeping the shoulders back and down, then coming back up to center, and we'll lift the chin up towards the sky. Coming back to center, chin to chest, and center and chin to the sky. Just making sure to lift up out of the neck so we don't dip into it. Center. Right ear we'll take to the right shoulder, or whichever ear to shoulder is better for you. We'll swing through, slowly rolling chin to chest, and coming back up, other ear to the other shoulder. This feels so great on my neck and shoulders. And continuing to move with your breath, one ear to one shoulder, and then switching the other ear to the other shoulder. And the next time you find yourself chin to chest, we'll just stop there and gently lift up. Beautiful. So we'll go ahead and come into a tabletop position for some cat-cows. So that will mean hands are underneath our shoulders and knees are underneath our hips. And we can go ahead and inhale to arch, face looks up, tailbone up, and exhale to round, chin to chest, and tucking the pelvis under. Inhaling to arch, and exhaling to round. Inhaling to arch, exhaling to round. And you can continue these on your own breath. Just a few more cycles. And then we'll come back into neutral after your last round. And we'll go ahead and take our blocks now. So we'll have 2 blocks, one for either side of the foot. We're going to come into a low lunge and start there. So with our blocks out, we'll take our right foot up between them. And you can bring them a little bit closer. And we're just going to focus on dropping into the low lunge, making sure, if you can't see mine, the knee is over the ankle. And that the knee stays into a nice alignment with the hip, so it's not really going out, it's staying aligned. And we're just going to breathe here. Just really taking this as a nice stretch through the hips, through the thigh and the groin. Tuning into our presence and our awareness in the body. As our body starts to relax down towards the floor, we can gradually lift up through the shoulders and back. Shoulders are down, but the body is lifted. Gradually, with every exhale, relaxing just a little bit more into the pose. You're doing great. Keep going. And we'll finally start to come out of the pose, gently pressing the hips back. And then we'll come into a hamstring stretch. So you might want to, I'm just going to show you what my foot looks like. You might want to move that foot a little bit forward if you need to, so that you can pull back into the hip and flex that front foot. And we'll keep the blocks on either side. And as you'll notice, I have a nice slight bend in my knee because my hamstring is a bit tight, and this is the first hamstring stretch I'm working with today. So I'm just gonna breathe into that and let my hamstring relax. But I am focused on lifting my chest up and my shoulders down, trying to keep my back a bit elongated so I'm not rounding too much into this. And if you do need to, you can always take those blocks up another level, or you can take them down, depending, or you can not use them at all. Really, it just depends on what you need. I think I'm going for mid-level right now. It's feeling much better there. Breathing into the hamstring, the back of the leg. Letting the chest open. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then we'll go ahead and bring the body just a little bit forward so that we can place our weight back onto the blocks and slide our leg back. From here, we'll just take a few cat-cows once again. to just relax through the spine and around. Inhaling to arch and exhaling to round. And from there, we'll go ahead and take the other side. So we'll take the left leg up between the blocks, between the hands. And we can go ahead and come into a nice low lunge, but focused on maintaining a decent length in the back while dropping the hips down and forward. And just breathing in, making sure that knee is over top of your ankle. Breathing in and out, nice and easy. Feeling the body as it relaxes down towards the mat. One more breath here. And we'll go ahead and lift the hips up gently and slowly coming out of that. And we'll go for another hamstring stretch. You might want to stretch that foot forward just a little bit, scooch it and flex if you can't see, flexing that foot. And pulling the hips back. You still want your hip in line with your knee here as much as possible. So we're not trying to pull back this way. We're just trying to stay in alignment with that leg extended as much as possible. A gentle bend, soft bend in the knee is perfectly fine. And as we settle ourselves in this position, just trying to keep our back nice and long. Our chest open, our shoulders down. And breathing all through the back of the leg. I'm really trying to make sure that the hips are square to the front of the mat. So one is not really more forward than the other. Breathing nice and slow, nice and easy. One more nice deep breath here. And we'll go ahead and take that foot back down onto the mat. Place the hands on the block so you can press up. And come back to the knees. And we'll sit down. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to rotate to face you so you can see our next position. It's like a lunge, the lunge that we did, but we're going to take a side lunge now. So coming with both of our knees together, we'll take one foot out to the side, and you're going to give yourself a little bit of space between the foot and the knee. So because we're going to lean out in that direction, so I don't want your knee to go too far forward. It shouldn't go past the ankle. We want that knee and ankle to line up once we go ahead and stretch out to the side on a side lunge. We're going to go ahead and make sure that our pelvis is tucked ever so slightly just to keep the alignment of our spine. We're not swaying back and we're not dipping forward. We're just keeping a nice alignment with the spine and the hip. And as we set up, we'll slowly shift our weight over to the side, coming into that side lunge. And you'll feel this all through the groin and the hips. Just getting a nice stretch here. Only a few breaths here because we're not really trying to strengthen, we're just trying to release. Just being aware of the back. And lifting back up. Taking that knee and resting it back onto the mat. We'll go for the other side. So we'll take the left foot out and give it just a little bit of space, keeping that foot in alignment with the knee that's on the mat. And we'll slowly, as we tuck the pelvis just to make sure we're in alignment, we'll shift over onto that foot. Keep checking in. The pelvis and the back are in a line. This knee is not going forward. It's staying nice and open. Beautiful. Only a few breaths here. We're just going to try to get this nice groin stretch. One more breath. And we'll lift that right back up and come back onto the knees. Beautiful. I'm going to switch back to facing sideways, but you will stay where you are. So you can just see I'm coming into a child pose now with my knees are closer together. And with my hands back, I'm just going to rest forward, round forward. And we'll just take a few breaths here, nice and easy. And gently we'll bring those hands to the mat and roll ourselves up through the spine. Slowly and gently. Gorgeous. So we can now sit to the side and place our feet out in front of us. And we'll come into a nice little twist to start. So as we bring our right foot up, we will cross that over. And how far it comes in is totally up to you. You just want to keep a nice long spine. So we're not rounding or leaning back. So whatever allows you to keep a nice long spine is where you want to put that foot. And then we'll go ahead and we'll work to wrap our elbow around the knee. If you can't wrap the elbow, just hold with your hand. And if you can't do that, then you can just place that hand down. But we're going to take a nice twist here. So we're going to wrap, sit up nice and tall, and place that other hand behind us. For me, it's my right hand. And we're just going to breathe here. Few breaths. Nice and easy. and just relaxing into the twist. Twists are really great for digestion, really great for wringing out some of the organs. And we'll bring that back, slowly unfolding and placing the foot on the outside of that leg and down. We'll bring the other foot up. For me, it's my left. I'm going to cross it over here, lifting up nice and tall. And we'll go ahead and hug that knee in. For me on this side, I don't have quite as much ability to hold with my elbow, so I'm just going to hold with my hand and try and get myself nice and tall, and then rotate into the twist. Breathing here, inhaling to lift, and exhaling to twist. One more breath. And untwisting, coming back and placing the foot back and down. Beautiful. So you will stay where you are, but I will just give you a better angle of what I'm going to do maybe. So we're going to come into a forward fold, but we're going to use our bolster. So there are a few ways to do this. Number one is the way that I have this right here. You can reach out over your bolster and just use your bolster to keep you there. You can also use a block underneath your bolster to hold on to and rest. My body doesn't really do that resting part as well, so that's not going to be the version I'm going to do. But there's also another option. You can put blocks on either side of you and place your bolster on the blocks. And you have a few options with those blocks. Obviously, this is one place. And you can just focus on relaxing forward there. So there's no real weight on your legs in this position. I really love this. I actually really love this. I recommend this. Because we're just going to fold and we're going to relax into this. We're going to hold this as a yin pose. So if that's a little bit low for you, of course, you can lift the blocks to a higher height and have your stretch here. Just to get the body into that position. It is always better, as opposed to rounding into the upper back, to just slightly bend the knees so that you can get, if you're in that position, you can get a more elongated spine as you bend the knees, and then gradually they will lengthen out. We are going to allow for rounding into the position, but it is it's just a better practice to get the elongation in the spine through allowing a bend in the knee, then forcing the knee down and rounding the back. It's going to yield better results through the hamstrings and the back. So I highly encourage you, if you're tight in your hamstrings and your lower back, to give the knees a little bit of a bend. So here we go into our supported forward fold. We'll be here for just a few minutes, so set yourself up into a comfortable position that is just an awareness of the body and the position you're in. And if you want to alter it during the process and come to a deeper state, you certainly can. Just breathing here. All through that lower back, the hips, the hamstrings. Feel your body releasing further into the pose with every breath. And slowly we'll begin to come out of the pose. You can use your hands on your bolster and slowly roll up through the spine. Very nice and easy. Great job. Feels so good. So we're going to go ahead and come into a straddle, which will be basically another long hold. And it will be your option as to how you choose to use your blocks and bolster. So we'll take both legs out into that straddle position. If you find that having your legs wide creates like a this type of situation, just make your legs a little bit closer together. And as long as you can start to lift up, and if that's not enough, then bend the knees slightly. As soon as you bend your knees, you will get more lift through the lower back and pelvis. So gradually, those knees will stretch out. You just have to do these stretches. And that's what gets them to stretch out. we'll have our last breath in this pose. And we'll release the arms if you had them up. And slowly bending the knees, placing the feet on the mat. And rotating the body a little bit over to the side so that you can press up nice and easy. Go ahead and come into Shavasana from here. So if you like a supported Shavasana, I welcome you to place the bolster so it will be underneath your legs. I'm going to move mine down a little bit. And gently ease the body down into a comfortable position. Legs just open up and relax over the bolster. Arms open out to the sides. And for Shavasana, we're just focused on relaxing everything and letting our practice sink into our bodies. Relaxing the mind, tuning into the body and the breath. Relaxing the shoulders down. And if you do at home have a t-shirt or a towel handy that you would like to use over your eyes to cover them and just really get a nice tuned in feeling, that is amazing. It's always very helpful for relaxing. If not though, that's fine too, because we're just going to close our eyes, slow down the breath, get comfortable, and release any tension from any parts of the body. Really send the awareness throughout the body. If you have any tension anywhere, just breathe into it and release it. Sometimes we don't always realize that we're holding tension in our forehead and our eyes, our jaw, our shoulders, our mouths, just relaxing all of those little areas. As we relax deeper with every exhale, we feel our bodies melting into the floor. And slowly we'll start to bring our awareness back to the body, back to the points of contact between the body and the floor. We might want to wiggle our fingers and toes. Give a big yawn if you feel it, or maybe a big inhale and a sigh to exhale. Turning the head from side to side. Very gently, be gentle with the body. And slowly we'll begin to place our feet on the bolster and just shift it forward just enough so our feet can come down onto the mat. And we can rotate to one side, turn to one side, and just hold here. And slowly pressing the body up. And coming into a nice, easy pose, Sukhasana. We'll keep our eyes closed, keeping our focus tuned into ourselves, bringing our palms together in Anjali Mudra at the heart center, and just feeling how our energy has shifted since we started our practice till now. Revisiting the intention or focus point that we set at the beginning of our practice, whatever that personal point was for you. Breathing. And we'll end our class with a chant of Om, just to sound into creation the intent that we brought forth today in our focus. So breathing in for Om. And slowly lowering the gaze down towards the floor. Blinking the eyes open. And gently lifting the gaze back up. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for joining practice with me. I appreciate you being here so much, and I hope that this practice gave you some extra relaxation and stretch and tension release for today. And until next time, peace and love and joy to everyone. Namaste.